So this is chapter 10, vectors. And okay. So section 10.1 is analytic geometry in 3 dimensions. You are familiar with analytic geometry in 2 dimensions, but maybe not so familiar with analytic geometry in 3 dimensions. In this chapter, we will start considering functions of several variables. Okay. So far, we have studied functions of this kind. Okay, a single variable. Now we will consider functions. So far we studied functions from R to R basically, but now we will consider, for example, functions like this, vector valued functions, or functions like this, okay, or functions like this, or in general functions of this type, okay. So functions of several variables basically. Now let's see. In 3 dimensions, we represent coordinate system like this. Okay, a right-handed coordinate system x, y, z. Uh, so this means what? As your uh, in you take your right hand, and as your fingers go from a positive axis to positive y-axis, your thumb should be in the same direction with the positive z-axis. Okay, then this is a positively oriented coordinate system. So this is a positively oriented or right-handed coordinate system. Okay, this one, let's say x, y, z. Okay, this is not right-handed coordinate system. Okay, because this time your fingers go from y to x. Okay, so this is left-handed coordinate system. Uh, Convention is this one. None of them is, actually both of them theoretically the same. You just make one choice. Okay, we could start from this one instead of this one, but historically this is the chosen one. And this positive orientation is used in also in physics and other sciences. Therefore we work with this coordinate system. Okay, right-handed coordinate system. Okay, now uh, if you have a point in this 3 space, then we represent its coordinates as follows. Suppose this is the uh, coordinate system x, y, z, and we have a point here. We take its projection. Let's say this point is its projection, and then in the xy plane we have its projection. Now we have a point in the xy plane. I can write down its x and y coordinates. How? We just draw parallel lines to the axis. Okay, so this is the x coordinate of the point. This is the y coordinate, and then we draw a line parallel to the xy plane from this point to the z-axis. Okay, so how it will be? Something like this, I guess. Yok, şöyle mi olacak? Şöyle olması lazım herhalde, değil mi? Yok, olmadı. Okay. So at this point, let's say P, the point P has coordinates x, y, and z. Okay. Well, of course, we may compute some distances. For example, what is this distance? Well, here I have a right triangle, right? And one side is x unit, the other side is y unit. Therefore, from Pythagorean theorem, this is x squared plus y squared, right? Square root, this one. And then one can also compute this distance from the origin to the point. How? Well, you see I have a right triangle also here. This length is this much, and this is the length, this is length z, so that here this length will be how much? From Pythagorean theorem, square of this one plus square of this one, and then you take square root. Square of this one is just x squared plus y squared. Square of z is just z squared, and then you take square root. Okay, so the distance of a point in 3 space to the origin is given in terms of its coordinates, like this. Okay, the distance from the point P with coordinates x, y, z to the origin O, which has coordinates 0, 0, 0, is what? Is given by the Pythagorean theorem, is given as what? Okay, x squared, y squared, z squared, and then square root. Okay. All right. Of course, similarly, if you have 2 points in the plane, let's say P and Q, then one can compute the distance between these 2 points. Okay. How? Well, consider as if Q is your origin. Okay. Q is your origin. Then we have coordinate system like this. And suppose this has coordinates x1, y1, z1, and this point Q has coordinates x2, y2, z2, okay, z2. Then I can draw the same picture. uh, I draw here for this one. Okay, so I take let's say projection like this, and here I draw this gadgets. So here this distance okay will be what? So okay, it will be y2, no, y1 minus y2. This distance will be x1 minus x2, and similarly this distance will be z1 minus z2. So the same picture, but I take the origin at the point Q, okay? So same consideration implies, and in this case, the distance between P and Q, the distance from Q to P is what? Same thing, but this time I have x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2 squared plus z1 minus z2 squared. Okay? All right. Şurada şöyle bir örnek yapmış. Okay. Show that the triangle with vertices A, okay, 1 minus 1, 2. Sometimes we write, points like this. A is the point with coordinates, but some books use also this notation, okay? Both of them are okay. So 3, 3, 8, and C is 2, 0, 1. Is a right triangle. Okay. Well, so I have 3 points in the space. Okay. Okay, 1, 1, no, 1, minus 2, no, minus 1, 1, 1, minus 1, 2. So that point is where, and then you go 2 units here. So A is somewhere here. B is 338. So it is here, but then you go 8 units up. So B is somewhere here. and C is 2, 0, 1. So C is here. No, not here. I'm sorry. Okay, not there. 2 units here, 0 unit, and then 1 unit up. So somewhere here. Belki şöyle çizeyim bunları. A, B, and C. And we have this triangle here. Okay, so we are asked to show that this is the right triangle. Well, it looks like a right triangle from my picture, right? Let's see if it is the case. So how can we show this? Well, let's compute the distances. What is the distance A to B? I will denote the distances like this, okay, A to B. What is this? Square root of the sums of squares of the coordinate differences. So 3 minus 1 squared plus 3 minus minus 1. So it is plus 1 squared plus 8 minus 2 squared. So this is just okay. 2'nin karesi değil mi? 4. 4'ün karesi 16. 6'nın karesi 36. Yani bu 56. Square root of 56. What about AC? This distance AC. So 2 minus 1 squared plus 0 minus minus 1. So plus 1 squared and 1 minus 2 squared. So what is this? 1, 1, and again 1, right? So square root of 3. Değil mi? Yanlış yapmadım. Evet. And finally, let's say what is BC? BC. So 2 minus 3 squared, 0 minus 3 squared, plus 1 minus 8 squared. So it is 1. Bu eksi 3 karesi 9. 7 eksi 7 karesi 49. Dolayısıyla bu da ne oldu? 59. Okay. Doğru mu yaptım? Evet, doğru yapmışız. Well, a triangle is a right triangle if and only if its sides satisfies Pythagorean identity, right? Now let's see. AB squared plus AC squared. What is this? This is square of AB. This is root 56. Its square is 56. Square of this is 56. This one, and the sum is 59, and this is BC squared, right? So the sum of squares of two sides is equal to the square of the third side. Therefore, and hence, ABC is a right triangle with hangisi right angle? A, right? A, uh, where A is the right angle. Okay. Bizim resmimizde öyle mi? Evet, bizim resmimizde de öyle çıkmıştı zaten. Değil mi? Gerçekçi bir resim çizmişiz. Okay. Okay. Let's do more examples. Some equations and the surfaces they represent. We will do some examples. For example, this one, the equation z equals 0 represent the set of all points in the space, free space, whose z coordinates are 0. Okay. Namely the set değil mi? Şu kümeyi gösteriyor. X, Y'ler, Z'ler, öyle ki Z koordinatı 0. Yani şu aslında X, Y, 0. X and Y are real numbers. What is this? Well, right, this is just the XY plane, right? Z coordinate is 0 means you just have the XY plane. So this is just the XY plane. Okay. Okay. Another one. The equation x equals y represent the set what? So this is the points in 3 space where x and y coordinates are the same. So it is just this one. X, X, and Z. Okay. X and Z are real numbers. What is this? Well, you see in the xy plane, x equals y would be just this line, right? Would be just this line. Right? So that x coordinate and y coordinates are the same. So this is like point A, comma A, right? And here in this case, z coordinate is 0 if this is in the xy plane. In the xy z space, this means what? X and y are the same. Z is arbitrary, so Z can take any value you wish. Therefore, it is nothing but just the plane containing this line uh, and parallel to the z-axis. So it is just this plane. Okay. Efendim? Uh, this is just the plane containing the line x equals y. Mhm. And it also contains the z-axis, right? So it is the plane which intersects the xy plane vertically. So it's something like this, okay? In the xy plane, it is the line uh, y equals x, and it is parallel to the z-axis. Nasıl? Hı hı. Ha, tabii tabii. Tabii. Tabii. Yani şey diyorsun, y eşittir z olsaydı e, yani şunu mu soruyorsun? X eşittir z'yi çizmek isteseydik mi? Hı hı. Aa, hı hı. İki plane'de. Olabilir tabii ama e, yani bir nokta bir sürü plane'in içinde olabilir. Onu kastediyorsan. E, ama bu denklem bir tane düzlem belirliyor. Hangi düzlem? X eşittir y doğrusunu içeren ve z eksenine paralel olan düzlem. Veya hem x y doğrusunu içeriyor hem de z eksenini içeriyor. Tamam mı? X y doğrusunu içeren bir sürü düzlem var. Bunlardan şu z ise z eksenini içeren düzlem bu. Anlaştık mı? So this is the plane. The plane containing the line y equals x in the xy plane and the line and the x-axis, sorry z-axis. Ve x-y düzlemini bu perpendicular kesiyor. Değil mi? Dik kesiyor. Yani şöyle kesmiyor da tam dik olarak kesiyor. Şurası x-y düzlemi ise. Okay. If this is first time you see, three space, I mean coordinate system R3, uh, you might have some difficulty to visualize, okay, equations and surfaces and so on. You should just spend some time, okay, thinking about these. Then you get used to. Uh, Another one, for example, the equation x plus y plus z equals 1 uh, represents all points whose sum of coordinates is 1, right? Yani x, y, z. So we have this x plus y plus z equals 1. Okay. It certainly contains these 3 points, right? 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and this point is 0, 0, 1. So it contains these 3 points, okay? Because some of these points are 0. In the xy plane, what would be this? This would be just the line, right? Joining these 2 points. In this case, it will be the plane containing these 3 points. So it will be, just consider this plane containing these 2 points, 3 points. So it will be just this plane. But of course, it is not just this triangle. It is the whole plane passing through these 3 points. Okay. Soon we will see why this is really this plane. Okay. I am giving you some explanation, but this is not actually a proof that, you know, this equation represents the whole plane. Okay. So that needs more explanation. We will come to that. Okay. But explain. Yeah, I mean, you may just consider the analogy between this and this picture, right? Here you have x plus y equals 1. It is the line containing these 2 points. Here x, y, z added up equal 1. It is the plane containing these 3 points. Here these points are 0, 1, 0 and 0, 1. Okay. The same analogy here. But it is not clear at this point why this equation represents the whole plane containing these 3 points. But we will come to that. Okay. What about this? The equation x squared plus y squared equals 4 represents a cylinder, or maybe the cylinder uh, with base the circle x squared plus y squared equals 4 in the xy plane and parallel to the z-axis. Okay, so what is this equation? So it represents this set of points x, y, z in 3 space, so that x squared plus y squared equals 4. You know, here you see there is no condition on z. Z can be anything, right? There is no condition on z. If z is 0, then this is just a circle in the xy plane, right? It is just this circle. Güzelce çizemedim. It is just this circle. This point is 2, this point is 2. But then z can be anything. This will mean that you just take this circle and translate along the z-axis. So if you have a circle, you just translate along the z-axis, you will get a cylinder. Okay, so you get a cylinder like this. Okay, why is that? You may think it this way. Just take this and uh, take its slices for any z. So, for example, consider this thing and with its intersection with this, z equals c. So it means what? This is the plane z equals c, right? It is the set of all points where the z coordinates is c, right? Z coordinate is c. So it is just this plane, which is parallel to the xy uh, coordinate system. Okay, it is just this plane. When you cut your object, this surface with this plane, so this is the point C, you will get what? You will get, so you get this. Uh, x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 and z coordinate is C. So you basically get just the same circle, right? But uh, lifted C units above the xy plane. So each section of the surface with a uh, plane parallel to the xy plane is the same circle basically. Therefore, this should be a right cylinder, okay? A cylinder parallel to the xy plane. Okay. What about this one? Uh, this represents a surface, the surface obtained by translating the parabola in given by z equals x square in the xz plane along the y axis. Yani şunu söylüyoruz. X, Y, Z. Burada da aslında aynı şey var. Right here, what is this equation? I mean x square plus y square equals 4. You just take this circle in the xy plane, right? This is a circle in the xy plane. This circle in the xy plane. And you just translate this along the z-axis, right? Up and down. And you get the surface, which is the cylinder. The same thing works here. You take the parabola in the xz plane given by, so if suppose this is the x-axis and this is the z-axis, you have this parabola here, okay? If I draw that parabola over here, I would get something like this, right? So In the xz plane, that parabola is something like this, right? And you translate this along the y-axis. So, okay, let me do that. Translate this along the y-axis. Okay, so you get something like this. Evet, yarımküre gibi bir şey olacak. Yani bu parabolü alıp kaydırıyorum, değil mi? Şöyle. Şurada da benzer bir şey var. Okay, so it is this surface. Okay, so it's like this gadget uh, along the y-axis. So it's like this. Okay. All right. What about this one? X squared plus y squared plus z squared equals 25. This represents the set of all points uh, x, y, z in tree space whose distance to the origin is square root of 25, which is 5 units, right? Because remember, what is the distance from the point x, y, z to the origin? It is x squared plus y squared plus z squared square root, right? We did this at the beginning here, right? The distance uh, from the point x, y, z to the origin was x squared plus y squared z squared square root. So in our case, that's so we have this x squared y squared z squared is equal to 25. So square root of this is just 5. Therefore, this equation represents all the points in the tree space so that the distance from that point to the origin is 5 units. But this geometric object has a name, right? This is the sphere of radius 5 with center at the origin. So this is nothing but the sphere, right? With center at the origin and radius 5 units. Okay? In the XYZ tree space. So, okay? Uh, okay. Let's do more examples. Identify the graphs. of uh, equations diyeyim. Okay. Okay. Now, uh, let me do the part A at the end. Let me start from D. So this is what? This represents the set of all points in tree space so that the sum of the squares of the coordinates is equal to -1, right? Well, there is no such point. So this represents the empty set. Represents the empty set. So its graph is just the empty set, okay? There's no point like this. What about C? X squared plus y squared plus z squared equals 0. Well, this is possible only if all of them are 0, right? So this implies x equals y equals z equals 0. So it represents the single point, uh, the origin, 0, 0, 0. So this represents the single point, the origin, okay? Just this point. B, what was B? B was this. Well, this is similar to what we have done over there. So this implies, if you have squares added up and equal to 0, then all of them must be 0. So y squared should be 0 and z minus 1 should be 0. Well, this means y is 0 and z minus 1 is 0, so z should be 1. What about x? X could be anything, right? So this means the following. So uh, the x coordinate, there is no uh, condition on the x coordinate. So it is the set x coordinate, there is no condition on the x coordinate. Y coordinate is 0. Z coordinate is 1. Okay. So what is this? Let's see. Y coordinate is 0. Z coordinate is 1. And there is no condition on the x coordinate. So x coordinate could be anything. So I can just translate this along the x-axis. It is the single point translated along the x-axis. Okay, so it should be like this. I'm sorry. So it's a line, okay? It is the line passing through the point 0, 0, 1, and it is parallel to the x-axis. uh, it is the line parallel to the x-axis uh, passing through the point. Hangi noktadan geçiyor? 0, 0, 1. Right? It is this point. 0, 0, 1. Okay, let's have a break.